Welcome back to another explosive episode of celebrity drama that has the entire British television world buzzing with disbelief and excitement. Today we dive deep into one of the most shocking moments ever captured on the iconic daytime talk show Loose Women, where the beloved and highly respected actress Brenda Blethyn, famous worldwide for her powerhouse performance as the no-nonsense detective Vera in the long-running crime drama series, found herself in the middle of a fiery and intense clash with none other than the outspoken panelist Denise Welch. The incident reportedly escalated so quickly and dramatically that Brenda was allegedly kicked off the show right there on live television, leaving audiences stunned, social media exploding with reactions, and fans demanding answers about what truly went down behind the glamorous studio lights. This wasn't just any ordinary debate or light-hearted banter that Loose Women is known for. This was a raw, unfiltered confrontation that highlighted deep differences in opinions, personalities, and perhaps even generational views on the entertainment industry, personal life choices, and the way public figures handle themselves under pressure. Brenda Blethyn, with her decades of experience in theater, film, and television, walked onto the set expecting a warm and respectful conversation about her illustrious career, her latest projects, and her thoughts on the evolving landscape of British acting. Instead, she was met with probing questions and sharp remarks from Denise Welch, a panelist who has never shied away from voicing strong opinions on everything from politics to celebrity culture and personal struggles. As the cameras rolled and the audience watched in real time, the tension built like a slow-burning fuse until it finally ignited into a full-blown argument that viewers described as both uncomfortable and strangely captivating. Many people online have been sharing clips, analyzing every word exchanged, and speculating on the underlying reasons why such a respected actress like Brenda would end up in such a heated situation on a show that prides itself on sisterhood and supportive discussions among women. But what really sparked this fiery clash? Was it a simple misunderstanding that spiraled out of control, or were there deeper issues at play involving egos, past comments, or differing worldviews that made the exchange inevitable? Let's unpack the entire sequence of events step by step, from the moment Brenda stepped onto the Loose Women set with her signature warm smile and humble demeanor, to the shocking moment when producers reportedly decided to cut her segment short and escort her off the air. This story has layers upon layers, including reactions from fellow celebrities, statements from the show's production team, and even insights from industry insiders who claim to know the real backstory. Brenda Blethyn has always been seen as a class act, someone who rose from humble beginnings in Ramsgate to become one of Britain's most decorated performers, winning BAFTAs, Golden Globes nominations, and earning the love of millions through her authentic portrayals of strong, complex women on screen. On the other hand, Denise Welch is known for her candid, sometimes controversial style, having openly discussed her battles with mental health, her colorful personal life, and her willingness to call out what she sees as hypocrisy in the showbiz world. When these two formidable women collided on live TV, it created a perfect storm of drama that no one saw coming, but everyone is now talking about endlessly across YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and beyond. The title of this video says it all. Brenda Blethyn kicked off Loose Women after a fiery clash with Denise Welch, and today we're going to explore every angle of this sensational story so you can decide for yourself who was right, who was wrong, and what it all means for the future of daytime television in the UK. Stay with me as we break it all down in vivid detail, including reconstructed dialogue based on eyewitness accounts and viral clips, the immediate aftermath, and the long-term implications for both stars involved. This is the kind of television moment that reminds us how unpredictable live shows can be when strong personalities meet without a script to guide them. From the initial pleasantries that quickly turned sour to the final tense exchange that led to Brenda's abrupt exit, every second was packed with emotion, passion, and unscripted reality that daytime TV rarely delivers. So raw, fans of Vera are particularly outraged, flooding comment sections with support for Brenda and criticism for the way the show handled the situation, while supporters of Denise argue that she was simply being her authentic self and asking tough questions that needed to be asked. Whatever your take, this incident has reignited debates about respect on panel shows, the boundaries of on-air banter, and whether Loose Women has lost its way in chasing sensationalism over substance. So buckle up, because this is going to be a thorough, no-holds-barred exploration of the entire saga, filled with context, analysis, and plenty of juicy details to keep you hooked until the very end. As the episode of Loose Women began that fateful day, the atmosphere in the studio seemed light and celebratory at first, with the regular panelists including Denise Welch greeting their special guest Brenda Blethyn with what appeared to be genuine enthusiasm and applause from the live audience. Brenda, dressed elegantly yet comfortably in a style that reflected her down-to-earth personality, took her seat and started sharing charming anecdotes from her early days in acting, her breakthrough roles in films like Secret Lies, and of course the immense popularity of Vera, the gritty Northumberland-based detective series that has defined the later part of her career and brought her into millions of living rooms across the globe. Everything was going smoothly until Denise Welch, never one to hold back her thoughts, steered the conversation toward more provocative territory, questioning Brenda about her views on modern acting techniques, the influence of social media on young performers, and perhaps even touching on personal matters such as work-life balance or opinions on certain high-profile celebrity scandals that had been dominating the headlines recently. At first, Brenda responded with her characteristic grace and humor, trying to keep the discussion civil and insightful, but as Denise pressed harder with follow-up questions that some viewers later described as borderline confrontational, the tone shifted noticeably. Brenda's facial expressions changed from relaxed smiles to furrowed brows, and her voice, usually so measured and warm, began to carry an edge of frustration that was palpable even through the television screen. The clash intensified when Denise made a pointed remark about how some veteran actors like Brenda might be out of touch with contemporary issues facing the industry, or perhaps referenced past interviews where Brenda had expressed more traditional views on topics like family, dedication to craft, or the importance of privacy in public life. Brenda, feeling challenged in a way that seemed disrespectful to her long and distinguished body of work, fired back with a sharp retort that highlighted her own experiences and defended the values she has always stood for throughout her career. The exchange quickly became a back and forth that left the other panelists visibly uncomfortable, with some trying to intervene and steer things back to safer ground while others sat back and watched the sparks fly. Audience members in the studio could be heard gasping and murmuring as the temperature in the room rose, and at home, viewers started frantically tweeting and posting on social media about the unfolding drama. What started as a standard celebrity interview had transformed into a full-blown debate on respect, generational differences, and the role of outspokenness in entertainment. Denise Welch, drawing from her own history of being candid about her personal struggles including depression, bipolar disorder, and her multiple marriages, seemed determined to push Brenda into revealing more than she was comfortable sharing, perhaps in an attempt to create that signature Loose Women moment of raw emotion and honesty. However, Brenda, who has always maintained a relatively private personal life despite her fame, was not about to be goaded into territory she didn't want to enter, leading to her delivering several strong, articulate rebuttals that earned cheers from parts of the audience but clearly ruffled feathers among the panel. The producers, monitoring the situation closely from behind the scenes, must have realized that the conversation was veering dangerously off course, especially for a daytime program watched by a broad family audience. Whispers of intervention started circulating, and before long, the segment was brought to an abrupt halt with the hosts announcing a sudden break or transition that felt awkwardly timed to many observers. Reports later emerged suggesting that Brenda was politely but firmly asked to leave the set shortly after the heated words were exchanged, an action that shocked even seasoned television insiders who rarely see such decisive measures taken against a high-profile guest. This moment of being kicked off has since become the focal point of countless discussions, with some calling it an overreaction by the production team while others praise them for maintaining decorum on air. The entire incident lasted only a few intense minutes, but its impact has reverberated far beyond that single episode, sparking think pieces in newspapers, endless video breakdowns on YouTube, and heated arguments in online forums about freedom of speech versus basic courtesy in live television. Brenda Blethyn's fans have rallied around her, praising her for standing her ground with dignity and refusing to be bullied into uncomfortable territory, while Denise Welch's supporters defend her right to ask difficult questions and keep the show engaging and relevant in a competitive media landscape. As we continue to dissect this dramatic event, it becomes clear that the clash was not merely about one comment or one question but represented a larger collision of two very different approaches to fame, professionalism, and public discourse. Brenda embodies the old-school values of craft, humility, and resilience honed over many years in an industry that doesn't always reward quiet strength, whereas Denise represents a more modern, confessional style that thrives on transparency and unfiltered opinion. When these worlds collided on Loose Women, the result was pure television gold for drama lovers but a potential nightmare for those responsible for the show's reputation. In the days following the incident, both women reportedly addressed the matter privately, though public statements have been minimal, adding even more fuel to the speculation machine. This paragraph has explored the buildup and the core of the fiery clash itself, setting the stage for deeper analysis in the sections to come. Following the explosive on-air confrontation between Brenda Blethyn and Denise Welch, the immediate aftermath was nothing short of chaotic both inside the Loose Women studio and across the wider world of social media and entertainment news outlets. As soon as the cameras cut away from the tense segment, insiders claimed there was a flurry of activity backstage, with producers rushing to speak to both parties involved, attempting to smooth things over while simultaneously preparing for the rest of the show to continue without further disruption. Brenda Blethyn, known for her professionalism even in difficult situations, reportedly maintained her composure as she gathered her belongings and exited the premises, though sources close to her described her as disappointed and surprised by how quickly the interview had deteriorated into open disagreement. Denise Welch, on the other hand, continued with the episode as if the clash had been just another lively debate, later making light of the situation in subsequent segments or through subtle comments that hinted at her unapologetic stance. The clip of the fiery exchange went viral within hours, racking up millions of views on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter, where users dissected every second, created reaction videos, and debated who came out on top in this unexpected battle of wits and wills. Hashtags such as #BrendaBlethyn, #LooseWomenDrama, and #DeniseWelch clash trended heavily in the UK and beyond, with opinions sharply divided along lines of age, loyalty to particular celebrities, and views on what constitutes acceptable television banter. Younger viewers often sided with Denise, appreciating her bold and direct style as refreshing in an era of overly polished celebrity interviews, while older audiences and dedicated fans of Brenda's work expressed outrage, accusing the panel of ambushing a guest who had come in good faith to promote her career rather than engage in personal sparring. Newspaper articles and online columns quickly followed, with headlines ranging from sensational takes like "Vera Star booted off Loose Women" and shocking wrote to more balanced analyses exploring the pressures faced by daytime talk shows to deliver constant entertainment and controversy to retain viewers in a fragmented media environment. Industry experts weighed in, suggesting that Loose Women has a history of lively debates, but this particular incident crossed a line because it involved a guest of Brenda's caliber who commands immense respect in the acting community. Calls for an official apology from the show or even from Denise herself began circulating, though as of now no formal statement has fully satisfied all parties. Brenda's representatives have reportedly declined most interview requests about the matter, choosing instead to let her body of work speak for itself, a classy move that has only increased admiration for the actress among her supporters. Meanwhile, Denise has continued her regular appearances on the panel, occasionally addressing fan questions about the event with her trademark humor and deflection, which has further polarized public opinion. This clash has also prompted broader conversations about the treatment of older female celebrities on television, the fine line between probing journalism and rudeness, and whether shows like Loose Women need to recalibrate their approach to guest bookings and on-air dynamics to avoid similar blow-ups in the future. Some commentators have pointed out the irony that a program designed to celebrate women supporting women ended up showcasing what many saw as a clear lack of solidarity during the heated moment. Others argue that true sisterhood includes the freedom to disagree passionately without it escalating to someone being removed from the set. As the dust began to settle in the weeks after the incident, subtle shifts could be observed in how Loose Women handled subsequent high-profile guests, with perhaps a bit more caution and pre-planned segments to prevent unscripted fireworks. For Brenda Blethyn, the event seems to have had little long-term negative impact on her career. If anything, it reminded the public of her strength and authenticity, qualities that have always made her characters so compelling on screen. Denise Welch, already a figure who thrives on being outspoken, saw a temporary spike in her own visibility, though it came with increased scrutiny and criticism from certain quarters. The entire saga serves as a fascinating case study in the unpredictable nature of live television, where chemistry between participants can either create magic or spark conflicts in equal measure. Fans continue to rewatch the available clips, slow them down, and analyze body language, tone of voice, and specific phrases used during the clash, turning what was a few minutes of television into a cultural moment dissected endlessly online. This detailed look at the immediate and short-term repercussions highlights how quickly a single television segment can capture the public's imagination and spark widespread discussion on topics far beyond the original disagreement itself. Delving deeper into the personalities at the center of this dramatic Loose Women incident reveals why the clash between Brenda Blethyn and Denise Welch felt almost inevitable once the conversation veered off script. Brenda Blethyn has built a remarkable career spanning over 5 decades, earning acclaim for her versatility and emotional depth in roles that range from the heartbreakingly realistic in Mike Leigh films to the tough, no-nonsense detective Vera Stanhope that has become her signature character since 2011. Her approach to fame has always been grounded and professional. She rarely seeks the spotlight for its own sake, preferring instead to let her performances do the talking while maintaining a quiet dignity in her personal life. This reserved yet fiercely talented demeanor contrasts sharply with Denise Welch's more extroverted and transparent public persona. Denise, a familiar face on British television for years through shows like Waterloo Road, her reality TV appearances, and of course her long-standing role on Loose Women, has always been open about her challenges, including mental health issues, relationship ups and downs, and her views on everything from politics to pop culture. Her style is direct, often provocative, and designed to generate discussion, which is exactly what makes her a valuable panelist but also what can lead to friction with guests who expect a more deferential interview experience. When these two sat down together, it was like mixing oil and water, or perhaps more accurately, like bringing together two strong-willed women from different eras of show business who value different aspects of what it means to be a public figure. Brenda represents a generation that earned respect through craft and consistency, often enduring hardships in the industry without oversharing personal details, while Denise embodies a more contemporary approach where authenticity includes laying bare one's struggles and opinions without filter. During the fiery clash, these differing philosophies clashed head-on, with Denise pushing for more candid revelations or challenging Brenda's perspectives in ways that felt dismissive to some observers, prompting Brenda to defend her position with increasing firmness. The argument wasn't just personal, it touched on larger themes such as how the entertainment industry has changed over the decades, the pressure on actresses to remain relevant, and the role of outspokenness versus measured responses in public discourse. Supporters of Brenda argue that she handled the situation with the same quiet strength her character Vera displays when facing difficult cases, refusing to be provoked into saying something she might regret later. Fans of Denise counter that she was simply doing her job as a panelist by keeping the energy high and asking questions that viewers at home might be thinking but wouldn't dare voice. This personality-driven analysis helps explain why the incident resonated so strongly with audiences. It wasn't manufactured drama but a genuine collision of authentic selves captured live on camera. In the broader context of Loose Women, which has featured many memorable debates over its long run, This particular clash stands out because of the stature of the guest involved and the abrupt way it concluded with Brenda's reported removal from the show.